Hey everyone, today we're going to look at the action cards in the core set. Before we get underway, Abled Card Game has two main types of cards that you include in your deck. The first is creatures, and we've had a look at all the creatures in the core set. The second type of card is action cards. These can be classified into a few subcategories. Action instant cards have an instant, immediate impact on the board, and then the card is placed in your discard pile. Action equip cards are equipped or attached to a creature and continue to have an impact on the board until the creature is destroyed, and both the creature and action equip card are placed in the discard pile. There are also action hero equip cards that can only be placed on your hero. The last type of action card, which we won't be looking at today as there are none in the core set, is the action trap. An action trap card is placed face down and only triggers when certain conditions occur. If you want to learn more about the card types, I've written up a glossary of terms on the Abled Card Game website, so check that out. Now let's look at a few cards. Our first action card, Twice the Ice, costs 0 to play, which makes the card always playable. This card is a stalling card. You freeze one enemy creature and you freeze one of your own. The good thing about this card is that if you don't have a creature on the board, you don't have to freeze one of your own. The next two cards I'm going to show you together. We have Armor Piercing and Armor Plating. One card gives a creature +2 attack and the other gives them +2 health. If you're wanting to be aggressive, then Armor Piercing is great, and in the same way, if you're wanting to make your creatures harder to kill and play more defensively, then Armor Plating is a good choice. They are both really cheap at 1 action point to play, so they shouldn't be too hard to utilize in a deck. The next action card is an action instant card, Firecracker. It simply deals 1 damage and costs 1 to play. This is a cheap, simple damage card. Our next card, Freeze, costs 1 to play and halts an enemy creature in their tracks for just 1 turn. This may give you the time you need to pull off a combo or find a way of getting back into the game. Freeze is a useful tempo tool. Next up we have Stun. The whole purpose of Stun is to reduce the strength of a powerful creature. The card is slightly random in nature though, as you roll a dice and then reduce the number from an enemy creature's attack value. For example, if you're facing a strong creature like Ice Titan that has 7 attack, you might use the Stun action. You roll a dice and get a 3. You reduce Ice Titan's attack by 3, taking Ice Titan down to a 4 attack creature. Switch is the next card to have a look at. This card is one I feel like I need to watch carefully to make sure it is not too overpowered, as it can create some interesting combos and attacking opportunities. I recently changed this card from a common card to a rare card, so you can only include 2 in your deck. These types of cards are really fun to build around. The idea with Switch is that it's a really versatile card. You can switch the attack and health of an enemy creature, making it easier to destroy, or you can switch the attack and health of one of your own creatures, providing you enough attack points to win the game. Let me know if you think this card might be a bit too overpowered for just 1 action point. Fire Blast is another simple instant effect action card. Use 2 action points and deal 2 damage. This is really useful as a removal tool, and it can also deal 2 damage to the enemy hero if desired. Fizzy Drink is our next card, and it is a great buff card for 2 action points. It gives a creature +2 attack and +2 health. This is great for controlling the board. You can make your creature just big enough that it can attack into another creature and destroy it without dying. Up next we have Hatch, which is an interesting one. It allows you to immediately hatch all eggs. Currently there's only 1 egg in the set, and so it may not be worth running this card, but I'm hoping to create different eggs in the future, so maybe this card will see play then. I've also had a look at the Eastern Dragon, which hatches from Dragon Egg, and I've changed it from being a 4 attack token to a 3 attack token, as I thought it was just a touch too strong. The next action card, Hoverboard, gives a creature the flying ability. This is super useful, and another card that might be a touch overpowered. It is a card that I will need to keep an eye on during further playtesting. The artwork in this one pays tribute to one of the most famous hoverboards, which I'm sure you all recognise. Medical Emergency restores a creature to full health. This is a great card in decks that run a number of high health creatures. This is where you'll find the most value. Otherwise, it may be better to run copies of Sweet Tea, which you'll see shortly. Slingshot is an action card that lets you deal 1 damage and draw 1 card. This card is super versatile, so I can see this card seeing a bit of use, especially in draft games when you need cheap ways to draw cards. The next card, Sweet Tea, is another great Restore Health action card. This one is more versatile than Medical Emergency, as you can target either a creature or hero. The only downside is that the restored health is capped at 5. Fishing Rod is an interesting card. You must discard a card which is usually a negative, but can sometimes be a positive if you have ways of retrieving those cards from your discard pile. Then you get to search your deck for a card, which is great. You can go and find any card you need, so it is really great if you're looking for the one card to help you swing the game in your favour and save you from an enemy attack. Health Potion is the next card. It simply restores 10 health back to your hero, up to the maximum amount of health that you started with. This is a really great card to keep your hero safe from defeat. Plunder for Gold is a 3-cost draw a card action. The upside is you get to draw a golden card. If you're running this in your deck, make sure you have a golden card to draw. It is most effective when you have a few golden cards, that way you can choose what golden card will work best depending on the current state of your game. There are 4 more action cards in the core set, and they all cost 4 action points to play. The first is Black Hole, and it is a golden card. You simply destroy an enemy creature. The downside of the card is that the card is shuffled back into your opponent's deck, and it's also random. So if your opponent has 4 creatures on the board, and 3 of them are quite weak, and 1 is really strong, you only have a 25% chance of hitting the strong creature. Working out the best time to play Black Hole is part of the strategy of including it in your deck. Next we have Force Field, which basically lets you stall for 1 additional turn. It is also a golden card, so you can only have 1 copy in your deck. We have Recruit, which allows you to draw 3 cards. It will take you a few turns to get 4 action points on the board, but if you do manage to do so, Recruit is a great way of drawing cards. The last action card in the core set is the White Flag. It allows you to send all creatures back to their owner's hand. It is essentially a reset button. It also means that any action equipped cards will no longer have a creature to be attached to, and so any action equipped cards on the board when White Flag is played will be placed into the discard pile. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.